I know it's been a while, but for my first long form video that I've done in like 1 month or two, I decided to do just something a little bit relaxing, a little bit laid back. We're just, sitting here, relaxing, making characters, and yeah. The format of this video is basically me making a character and explaining what I do and why I do it, and yeah. First up, I actually start with the base of my character. I always like putting warm tones and adding a tint on her. Now I fiddled here a bit with the eyes and the colors and stuff like that. I will say the style that I'm making her is heavily inspired by Mocha. I watched their video on how they make characters, how they yassify them, and I'm just following the format of their video. Will say, I think why when I was making this character first, I had such problems with the eyes and the colors because I had a locked-in character design that I wanted to do for a while, but it just didn't work with what I actually had in mind for this character. So I scrapped most of the colorings, specifically the pink eyes. I feel like they look a little fantasy, and I don't think actual people in real life have pink eyes. Unless they, wear contacts or stuff like that. It was a bit confusing working with this head shape because I don't usually use this head shape. I use the one with the chin, and I just kept on thinking that she looked like a chubby baby. But I tried looking past that, and I actually quite like this head shape. It gives your characters a much softer look, a much more rounded look. It makes them look younger, which is great if you want to make characters, young characters, specifically characters that are 12, 13 for example, or even toddlers or babies, because they still have a very round head shape. And that was what I was planning to do with this character. I was planning on making a girl between the ages of I'd say 10 to 13, and who goes to school. The eye shape was something I wasted a lot of time on, and it wasn't even worth it in the end. I was fiddling around a lot with it, as you can clearly see. I was picking eyes, I was rearranging them, I was adjusting them. I picked another eye, then I had to also readjust the shines. I kind of left them for a while and worked on, the face accessories and the mouth. Most of the things I just added with feel. I didn't plan this out beforehand. I was just working along with the flow, which I think it really shows considering how much I'm fiddling around with the colors and everything. I initially actually wanted to make this character inspired by a fan art I've seen of a Garou girl, but I just realized midway through making the lips and the face accessories, this is not gonna work one bit. I fiddle around with the bottom lip quite a bit. I've been kind of obsessed with doing these upper and bottom lips, and I couldn't get the bottom lip to look natural at all. It looked bloated, or it was peeking through on the top, and again I just was okay, whatever, no one's ever gonna see that. And midway through, while I was making the blush, she looked like she had a sunburn, or those anime blushes. It looked so awkward, and oh god, even watching this footage now is painful. But I haven't even touched gacha in months at this point, so in the beginning it is quite understandable. I hope that I was extremely rusty with it and inexperienced because I haven't touched this app in months. Once I started, doing her hair and all that, I realized, okay, this doesn't work, we gotta do something else. And for her hair, I gave her a short little curly, I guess you can say it's a curly bob. I decided to make the front it was a little bit too frizzy and too unevenly uncut for my taste at least, so I decided to use front bangs with the hair clips to seem like she clipped her hair back to be out of her face and out of her eyes so she can see a little bit better. I thought she looked incredibly cute at this moment, and yeah, I changed. Can we just appreciate how much better it looks when I change the eye color and the bottom lip? It looked so good. The next step was obviously clothing and accessorizing. I decided to give this character a onesie because I feel like showing what your character wears to bed shows a lot about their personality. For example, if they, wear normal PJs or have a onesie or I don't know, sleep in their underwear. For example, if they sleep in like PJs, shows they have a lot of time to get ready in the morning and get ready for bed. For example, they also have a lot of time to do their skincare. Someone who sleeps in a onesie is maybe a little bit more childish, is a little bit younger, is a little bit more, jokeful. And someone who sleeps naked, let's be honest, they just came back from work and do not have the energy to do anything, so they just plop in bed like that. Something I also learned that can enhance your characters, and I do this all the time, is giving them a signature symbol or like a pattern or like an item. For example, if your character only eats apples and they only have an apple on screen, they hold it all the time. Whenever the audience sees an apple, they think of that character. So while I was like designing her, I decided to, for her signature item, it would be a star. So, I gave her star earrings. Her onesie has a star in the front, and I thought, it was amazing. But as I was finishing her up, I thought that face looks a little bit too perfect. Like, in her hair is a little bit too tidy to go to bed. So I made another version of her, how she would look like actually in bed. So, I removed all that mascara. I made her eyes a little bit rounder because no one goes with false lashes to bed. I made her face look bare. I also gave her some dark circles under her eyes because I feel like we all have that now. I also gave her, in the end, you'll see where the face accessories, I gave her some acne. And I partially did this because, let's be real, no one's skin is perfect and we don't gotta be ashamed about it. So I gave her some on the forehead because that's literally the worst breakout that everyone has. I can assure you, my forehead is, lumpy AF. You can really see because, for example, when she goes to bed, she has a bare face. When she goes to school, she likes, to cover up a little bit and look a little more sophisticated. The next step for her was, for her, cleaned up look for when she goes to school, is to make her school uniform. I decided to make her uniform, a little bit plain. I did consider giving her a tie or something like that, but when I look at school uniforms around the world, most of them don't even have a tie. They're like a white shirt and a skirt or pants, depending on, your gender. I didn't want to make the skirt red as a good color contrast, but I felt like that was a little too harsh, so I made it like a grayish blue color, and I gave her stockings underneath. Initially, I did give her striped stockings, but then it was like there's only one star, and that's her earring. So, first up, of course, I gave her, it was just a given that I would give her that that star bracelet that's for the arm accessories. I did also slip in some pink in here to, nod to my original design with the pink eyes and the pink lipstick. But that was the only little blotch of pink I put in there because I did not want to be reminded of my past mistakes. That's just, that's so, to me. I also gave her another bracelet, and gave her the star stockings. Also, I don't know what happened to my recording, but it glitched so badly. She took me about half an hour to complete, but I really like her and I want to make a gacha movie with her. And if you have any name suggestions, please let me know because I don't have a name for this girl. I hope you like this little silly video I made, and I'll see you in my next one. And Happy New Year! I know I'm late, but it's better late than never. I can't believe I forgot to say that.